Teachers, what's the most creative way a student has tried to cheat on a test? I was supervising a final exam in my physics class when I noticed something odd about Jake's calculator. Every few minutes, he'd hold it up to his ear like he was checking if it was working. At first, I thought maybe the volume was too low on the button clicks, but then I realized he was doing it way too often for normal use. I walked over casually and asked to see his calculator. Jake's face went completely white, like he'd seen a ghost. I flipped it over and found a tiny Bluetooth earpiece cleverly taped inside the battery compartment. The calculator still worked perfectly for actual math, but Jake's girlfriend was sitting in the parking lot with his textbook and notes, whispering answers through the hidden earpiece. But here's the brilliant part. They had worked out an elaborate code system. One beep meant A, two beeps meant B, and so on. If I hadn't caught the suspicious ear-holding behavior, I never would have figured it out. The calculator looked completely normal, passed every visual inspection, and even functioned for legitimate calculations. When I confronted him after class, Jake admitted they'd spent 3 weeks perfecting this elaborate system. They'd practiced during lunch breaks, timing exactly how long each answer took to transmit without arousing suspicion. His girlfriend had made detailed study notes organized by chapter and question type, so she could find answers quickly during the actual exam. They'd even tested the range. She had to park in a specific spot in the lot to maintain signal strength. They even had backup plans. If the Bluetooth failed, she was supposed to text his smartwatch, and if that failed, she'd pull the fire alarm to trigger an evacuation. The dedication was honestly terrifying. I was almost impressed by the sheer engineering complexity and effort. Almost. Jake failed the exam spectacularly, but I did recommend him for our school's robotics club. That kind of technical creativity and problem-solving ability deserved a much better outlet than academic dishonesty.